Greetings from our Temecula studios. This is the Ryder Report. I'm Ryder Bullock. The Golden State Warriors dominated the LA Clippers 98-79, never allowing the Clippers to get close after opening up a 24-point lead in the second quarter. Golden State's balanced attack and hot perimeter shooting, hitting 37.8% from three, kept them in control while the Clippers struggled from deep, making just 18.2% of their attempts. Fast break points and smart ball movement helped the Warriors maintain momentum throughout the night. James Harden led the Clippers with 20 points, scoring 6 of 15 from the field and 7 of 7 from the free throw line, but his efforts weren't enough to overcome Golden State's efficiency. Jimmy Butler III paced the Warriors with 21 points on 9 of 12 shooting, anchoring a well-rounded performance. LA out-rebounded Golden State 47-42, but with only 10 assists, they couldn't find constant looks. For the Clippers, it was a night of missed opportunities, while the Warriors cruised to a convincing victory in front of the home court. Welcome, greetings from our Temecula studios. This is the Ryder Report. I am Ryder Bullock. A lot to get to. We're going to recap a wild, busy day in the NBA, plus get to some NFL news. Patriots making mind-boggling trades. I'll explain it to you. Plus, 100 days from the Winter Olympics in Italy. We have some big Olympic news to get to. And we are also, I have to do some math, 3 days away from the Breeders' Cup. Friday and Saturday action in Del Mar. We have some horses that we're keeping our eyes on. So once again, welcome to the Ryder Report. I am Ryder Bullock. Let's get to the NBA. And earlier tonight, Giannis Antetokounmpo powered Milwaukee to a statement win at the Fierce Forum, scoring 37 points on 16 of 22 shooting as the Bucks held off the New York Knicks 121-111. Jalen Brunson was brilliant in the defeat, dropping 36 points while hitting 14 of 25 from the field and 7 of 9 at the line. New York crashed the offensive glass with 17 second-chance boards, but Milwaukee's superior efficiency, 54% from the floor and 41% from three, proved too much to overcome. The Bucks defense rose late, swatting 8 shots and forcing key turnovers to hold a Knicks rally. Milwaukee turned defense into offense, outscoring New York 21-9 on the break and 50-42 in the paint. Milwaukee improves to 3-1, while New York slips to 2-2 after a hard-fought road loss. What a comeback! In the nation's capital, the Philadelphia 76ers remain unbeaten at 4-0 after rallying from 16 down in the fourth to stun the Wizards. 139-134 in overtime. Tyrese Maxey was electric, 39 points and 10 assists, taking over late with Joel Embiid resting on the bench after a 25-point night in limited minutes. Rookie big man Adam Bona made the difference, defensively swatting 4 shots in the fourth and another in overtime, including a huge follow dunk with 27 seconds left to put Philly on top for good. Alex Sarr poured in 31 for Washington, which had 8 players in double figures by the third quarter, but managed just 16 points in the final period. The Wizards led by as many as 19 before collapsing late. Philadelphia hosts Boston next, while Washington heads to Oklahoma City on Thursday night. How about the Miami Heat? Their offense is on fire early this season, and Jamie Jaquez Jr. continues to lead the charge. Jaquez poured in 28 points, 20 of them in the first half, as Miami rode past the Charlotte Hornets 144-117 for its third straight win. Bam Adebayo added 26, and Andrew Wiggins chipped in 21, while Pale Larson stepped up in his first start for the injured Norman Powell with 17 points and 5 rebounds. Miami's bench dominated with a 58-33 scoring edge, and the Heat shot a blistering 69% from Jaquez through 4 games. LaMelo Ball flirted with another triple-double, 20 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and rookie Con Canupo impressed with 19 18 for Charlotte. But the Hornets couldn't keep pace once the Heat closed the first half on an 11-0 run and blew it open late. Miami now sits at 3-1 and visits San Antonio Thursday, while Charlotte returns home to host Orlando. Oklahoma City Thunder closed strong to take down the Sacramento Kings 107-101 in a physical Western Conference battle. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander once again led the way, pouring in 31 points on 14 of 26 shooting with his usual clutch shot making down the stretch. Zach LaVine paced Sacramento with 23 points, scoring a perfect 7 for 7 at the line, but the Kings couldn't overcome 17 turnovers that led to 27 Thunder points. Oklahoma City used its size and rim protection to swing the game, outscoring the Kings 52-34 in the paint and blocking 10 shots. Both teams traded blows through the second half, but OKC's defensive stops and balanced attack, 26 assists to the Kings' 21, sealed the win late. The Thunder moved to 5-0 on the season, while Sacramento falls to 1-3. That's what's going on in basketball. We move now to the NFL and the New England Patriots. What are they doing? I mean, really, you trade away two defensive starters, Keion White and Kyle Duggar. And for what? A couple of 6-round picks? That's not rebuilding. That's rummaging through the bargain bin at a garage sale. Let's start with Keion White. This kid was a second-round pick just 2 years ago. Belichick liked him, Mayo liked him, and Variable apparently not. He's been riding the pine all season, healthy, scratched late, last week, but barely on the field. But now he's headed to San Francisco. And let me tell you, the Niners are desperate. They've got more injuries on the edge than a MASH unit. Bosa's out, Huff's limping. Gross Matos is hobbling, and they're hanging on by a thread. So yeah, they'll take a flyer on White, and they gave up a 6-rounder for him. That's a steal if he pans out. Now Duggar, this one's a little more complicated. He's a baller, 9 picks in his career, just signed a $58 million deal last year, and now he's gone. Variable clearly didn't see him as a fit. And Pittsburgh pounced on him. And you say, why? Because Deshaun Elliott's knee is shot. Tomlin himself said Elliott was the glue in that secondary. Duggar steps in, and he's got to cover tight ends like Tyler Warren this week. That's no joke. Kraft burned them last week, and Clark couldn't keep up. Duggar's got the physicality, the instincts, and the experience to plug that hole fast. But here's the real story. The Patriots are cleaning house. Variable's not just tweaking the roster, he's gutting it. These aren't fringe guys. These are Belichick's guys, Mayo guys, and now they're gone. Variable's making it clear this is his team now. Whether that's good or bad, we'll find out. But right now it looks like New England's waving the white flag on 2025. And if you're a Pats fan, you better buckle up because this ain't the Patriot way anymore. This is Variable's way. And it's going to be a bumpy ride. Continuing with a developing story that we first broke last week, Terry Rozier. You know him, Scary Terry. Well, it's not just the nickname that's scary anymore, it's the headline. Let me walk you through this. The same year, Rozier allegedly tipped off a buddy about leaving a game early, March of 2023, 9 minutes in, foot injury, all part of a federal gambling scheme. He's hit with an $8.2 million tax lien from the IRS. That's not a fine. That's not a penalty. That's a full-blown financial disaster. Now listen, this guy's made $161 million in career earnings. He signed a $96 million deal with Charlotte, got traded to Miami, and now he's sitting on leave while the feds and the league try to untangle this mess. Wire fraud, money laundering, conspiracy. This isn't a slap on the wrist. This is federal court, folks. And the details, they're wild. Rozier allegedly tells his buddy, De Niro Lester, he's leaving the game early. Lester sells that information to gamblers for $100,000. Rozier pays for last year's trip to Philly to collect the cash. Then they count it together at Rozier's house. You can't make this stuff up. Meanwhile, the IRS is knocking on his door in Broward County. No lien release on record, no comment from the IRS. And the address on the lien, it's tied to a company Rozier listed as an officer of GMB Chronicles. That's the outfit that owns the trademark to Scary Terry. You can't write this script. And let's not forget, the guy's got a $5 million property with a construction lien on it, too. So while the Heat says they are supporting him and the NBA says there wasn't enough evidence last year, Adam Silver's tone last week, let's just say it wasn't exactly a vote for confidence. This is a league staring down the barrel of a gambling crisis, and Rozier, he's the face of it right now. You want to talk about the risk of legalized sports betting? This is it. A player allegedly manipulating his own minutes, feeding info to gamblers, and sitting on millions in unpaid taxes? It's not just a scandal, it's a warning shot. And if you're the NBA, you better get your horses in order, get your house in order, because this isn't just about Rozier. This is about integrity of the game. And once that goes, folks, you don't get it back. Shift gears now. We're 100 days out from the Winter Olympics, and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee is knee-deep in a controversial, expensive, and frankly unprecedented process, gender testing for female skiers and snowboarders. Now let me explain this. The International Federation for Skiing, that's the FIS, just adopted a rule requiring athletes in women's events to take an SRY gene test. That's the test that looks for the Y chromosome. Track and boxing already did it earlier this year. Now skiing joins the list. The USOPC's chief medical officer says they've got experience from those other sports, so they're trying to make this rollout smooth. But smooth or not, it's costly. $250 a test. And we're not talking about a handful of athletes. These skiers and snowboarders are globetrotting for qualifying events. Hundreds of tests could be needed. World athletes, and they're going to help pay for it. The World Athletics helped pay for some of it, but the FIS, no word yet. But here's the real story. This comes right after the USOPC quietly revised its own gender policy in July. They effectively barred transgender women from competing in women's sports. Why? Because of an executive order from President Trump keeping men out of women's sports. That's the directive. And USOPC board chair Gene Skykes says it aligns with the international trend. Now look, this is a sensitive issue. You got athletes whose careers, identities, and dreams are on the line. You've got governing bodies trying to navigate politics, science, and fairness. And you got the IOC under new President Christy Conventry forming a working group to take a stronger stance. And she's leaning toward policies like FIS and World Athletics. Sykes says the USOPC has to respect the government's decision. That's their job. Help the national governing bodies comply. But let's be clear. This isn't just compliance. This is a seismic shift in how gender is handled in elite sports. And if you're an athlete, you're not just training for the Olympics anymore. You're navigating a legal, medical, and political maze. And that's the reality of sports in 2025. We'll keep an eye on this because the implications go far beyond skiing. This is about the future of competition and how it's unfolding right now. To the Breeders' Cup, the world's best horses converging in one place. 14 races, millions in prize money, stories that go way beyond the track. And this year it's in Del Mar, just north of San Diego, hosting more than 170 horses from 13 different countries: England, France, Germany, Ireland, Japan, Chile, you name it. They're all here. And yes, there's a horse you've probably heard of. Sovereignty, Kentucky Derby winner, Belmont winner, Travers Stakes winner. The guy's going for Horse of the Year, but, and it's a big but, he developed a temperature Monday night, so who knows if he'll even run. That's the drama of racing, folks. That's why you don't just pick horses, you watch the stories. Now, let me tell you about some names that have me excited. Straight No Chaser, defending Spirit champion, 6 years old, coming home to Del Mar for the last race of his career. He's had an international season, crushed it in Saudi Arabia, and now he's back to try and leave the track with one last roar. You gotta love a hometown hero going out in style. Seismic Beauty, a Del Mar darling, this 3-year-old filly has been stretching her legs over 2-turn races and winning convincingly. She's 3 for 3 at Del Mar with a lighter distaff field thanks to some defections. She's primed to make her move. Rebels Romance, the international jet setter, the 7-year-old Jinling, could make history, folks, aiming to become the first horse to win the turf 3 times. He's already beaten top horses in Germany and at Aqueduct this year. Keep your eyes on him. Fierceness, the Beast from the East, a City of Light colt, 4 years old, trained by Todd Pletcher, came in second in last year's Classic, now seeking redemption. Talented, tactical, but sometimes inconsistent, makes for exciting races. Rhetorical, the ultimate underdog story, trainer Will Walden fought his way back from addiction, now guiding this Jinling to the turf mile. Rhetorical just posted a shocking upset at Kingland. So a long shot, absolutely, but the story alone makes you want to root for him. Nyos, raw talent on the dirt mile, only 4 years old, speed figures through the roof, but a history of setbacks. If he makes it to the post, you're seeing one of the most talented dirt horses in the field. She Feels Pretty, American Turf Excellence, 4 Grade 1 wins, over $2 million in earnings, now going head-to-head with the best European mares. Can she pull it off? That's the kind of storyline that makes the Breeders' Cup must-see TV. Breeders' Cup this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Looking forward to that. Let's talk World Series Game 4, Toronto versus the LA Dodgers and the Blue Jays. They came out swinging. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the kid's been a monster all postseason, hits a 2-run homer off Shohei Ohtani. Yes, the Shohei Ohtani puts Toronto up early, and they never looked back. Shane Bieber, smooth as silk, 4-hit ball into the 6th, keeping the Dodgers off balance. Toronto shook off that epic 18-inning nightmare from Game 3, and they did it with power, poise, and precision. Addison Barger had 2 hits and an RBI, and the Jays just executed when it mattered most. Now, let's give some credit to Ohtani. I mean, the guy's incredible. I think he's the best baseball player of this generation. He redefines short rest, right? Took the mound barely 17 hours after going 9 for 9 at the plate with 4 extra bases in Game 3. But even he ran into trouble. By the 7th, Guerrero's homer and a 4-run inning put the nail in the Dodgers' coffin. So Toronto evens the series, reclaims home field advantage, and ensures the World Series trophy will be decided at Rogers Center. Game 5 ships back to Dodger Stadium tomorrow. Game 6 in Toronto on Friday. This series is far from over. Here's what's trending in sports. 180 $80,000 Range Rover customized for NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal was stolen in Georgia earlier this month. Authorities say the SUV, designed to accommodate O'Neal's 7'1" frame, was taken from a local fabrication business and was en route to Baton Rouge, Louisiana for an LSU game. Investigators in Lumpkin County, Georgia have identified multiple suspects and executed several search warrants. California-based company that customized the vehicle, Effortless Motors, says the transport company's system was hacked. Effortless Motors is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the car's recovery. The WNBA has offered players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations on a new collective bargaining agreement, sources told ESPN. The current CBA is set to expire Friday. Without an extension, a strike or lockout could be possible. The Women's National Basketball Players Association advisors say a deal will not be reached by the deadline, citing difficulties finding common ground with the league. Public disputes have escalated over pay benefits and revenue-sharing models, with both sides criticizing each other's proposals. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert stressed urgency, but noted extensions have been used in the past negotiations. President Donald Trump's granddaughter, Kate Trump, will make her LPGA Tour debut next month before heading to college golf at the University of Miami. Trump, a senior at the Benjamin School in Palm Beach County, received a sponsor exemption to play in the Anika at Pelican Golf Club from November 13th through the 16th. Currently ranked number 461 in the American Junior Golf Association, she competes nationally and in Florida amateur events. Trump said the opportunity will allow her to compete with some of her golf heroes and mentors. She also has a growing social media presence and recently launched a lifestyle brand aimed at empowering young women in sports. That's what's trending in sports. Here is tonight's final thought. A week into the 2025-26 NBA season, the numbers are impossible to ignore. 16 instances of 40-point games, back-to-back performances reminiscent of Shaq and Jordan, and the occasional 50-point outburst. Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, Tyrese Maxey, Lauri Markkanen. These aren't anomalies. They are the headlines. And yet somehow they are competing with stories that have nothing to do with points on a scoreboard. Arrests, gambling scandals, and congressional injuries. This, in a way, captures the duality of the modern NBA. On one hand, the game is thrilling, more explosive, and more entertaining than any point in its 80-year history. Teams are faster. Players are hitting threes from seemingly impossible angles. Free throws are up, and yes, defenses are struggling, perhaps more than they have in a generation. It's a league built to dazzle, but that dazzle comes at a cost. Defense, a foundational element of basketball, is becoming a footnote in a highlight reel. The game risks losing its tension, the kind that made legends like Russell, Chamberlain, and Bird transcendent. And then there's context. Off-court turmoil has a way of overshadowing on-court excellence. No matter how many 40-point nights were witnessed, when news breaks about federal investigations and arrests, the story shifts from spectacular play to speculation, suspicion, and scandal. Adam Silver can apologize, commissioners can offer reassurance, but the NBA now operates in a world where both brilliance and controversy coexist and often compete for our attention. For fans, it's both a feast and a headache. The question lingers, will this high-scoring, high-drama season be remembered for the skill, the spectacle, or the shadow that haunts it? So far, the answer is probably all of the above. That'll do it for me on this Tuesday night. Till next time, Ryder Bullock reporting. Thank you for your time, and thank you for letting me share mine.